That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm not really in the mood to do a goofy intro. This is gonna be a straight up interview with Unsleeved Media, the quartering, none other than the very famous Jeremy. Let me give you a little background on this situation. About a little more than 2 months ago, Jeremy was under investigation by Magic the Gathering for behaving basically poorly on Twitter by tweeting at a cos girl, making criticism of cosplay girl. That cosplay girl quit, and a bunch of hate kind of went his way, and they kind of had their typical, what you might call normal YouTube drama over the situation. Shortly after I interviewed him, I think it was like 24 hours, he was actually banned from Magic the Gathering. And Jeremy, I don't think it's the I don't think it's I don't think I'm using the wrong language here. You have gone on a campaign ever since to kind of port out corruption inside Magic the Gathering, and I'll be honest with you. I thought initially you were going too far, and you might not be doing yourself any kind of public relation favors. But what exactly did you find?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Tommy. I appreciate that, and also
I appreciate
thanks
you
for
coming on, man. You're a big YouTuber to me, you know.
No, man. Thanks for being a silent and vocal supporter of me too, and all this. But you know, it's
I'll be honest with you. Sorry about that. That was an error on my head. But go ahead. Yeah.
So basically, the timeline works like this, and in the most kind of TLDR format I can give you, is when I was banned, I opened up this inbox, basically said, hey, you know, give me some dirt on what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I started getting way worse things than I ever imagined. I thought maybe it was, you know, I was going to get some insider trading, maybe where people find out what cards come out early. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be kind of way worse than that.
I'll say. So I mean, I guess let's not tease this any more than we have to. You found, you're claiming you found registered sex offenders, and you have the paperwork, because I have seen the video when you went over each particular offender that was in the registry for Magic the Gathering. And you are also claiming, and let me make this clear, that people inside Wizards of the Coast, no, excuse me, I don't want to say Wizards of the Coast, whoever is in charge of the judges of these particular tournaments knew about it. Are we 100% sure about that?
Yeah, I have all the receipts, and they admitted as much today publicly. It's kind of a red banner day. They admitted today in a post on their website that they did know about it, and they called it a, quote, administrative error. But we all know what that really means. So, yeah, I have all the receipts that this man was reported back in June or July, and they did nothing. I have the receipts for the judge that was told about it, and he did nothing. So I had them dead to rights, which is why they had to make an announcement.
How long did it take between the time that you announced this from the time to them to take action and get these judges off? Because I'm going to be honest with you, Jeremy, when you started talking about pedophiles, I was really concerned. I thought you were barking up the wrong road. I thought you were going to ruin your channel and ruin your career. I just thought, because I've seen it so many times where there's nowhere else to go. YouTube drama goes, I mean, we recently see it in the beauty community with Peter Mon and this guy, John Cuckey, and I was like, oh my God, you know, I really, because I told everybody you weren't crazy, you know, but, you know, despite your motives, which I think are a red herring, because your motives keep being brought up. And I think at this point they're absolutely irrelevant. And you found this. And how many judges is this that are affected by this, or so far?
Well, the actual count of judges is close to 5. Mm-hmm. And specifically, the most damning ones are the one that continued to serve as a judge after his conviction. You know, I would say there's Jason Long, David Park, Luke Flora, Sam Strauss, Ross Prasnier. These are all Magic the Gathering high-level judges, mm-hmm. as well as Carl Crook. These are all. So I get why you have to say, like, alleged. I get that. Yeah. But I mean, I have the receipts.
But the registry, these are convicted. If you're in the registry, you're convicted. No, I mean that's the way it is in New Jersey, where I grew up. They're in the registry, so that's, you don't have to say alleged in this particular situation.
That's right. Yeah, it's absolute fact. It's undeniable fact. And the fact that, you know, I have the timelines where these people still served as judges. And to be honest, the most frightening thing about it is, sure, I found these, but I have limited resources. Imagine how many more are out there. You know, it's crazy. I don't want to like try to freak people out, but I'm not even anywhere near the biggest in the space. I don't have the resources that some of the people do. I'm sure the list would be 2 or 3 times as long with a little more digging.
It's just well, I don't want to get in a witch hunt area. I do worry about these things. I think what's going on in Hollywood is snowballed to a witch hunt. But you know, you with Hollywood, there's often accusation. There's not solid proof. Can I ask you how serious because usually in the registry, at least in New Jersey, in my experience, they list the crime. Are these statutory rapes, like, and the girl was 17, or were these children prepubescent? I mean, how serious are the attacks? Was there violence involved?
It really varies. There's a couple of people that I would say made boneheaded decisions, like, you know, they hooked up with a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old, something stupid.
All right.
But there's also guys that had infant rape videos on their computer. I mean, so it goes all the way, man.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. When you go down this rabbit hole, and I looked at everybody's court cases. Yeah, it's as bad as you could imagine.
It's just unbelievable. And are you sure that you know for a fact that at least one of the judges was reported in June, and this is well before your incident with the cosplay girl, where when you criticized the cosplay girl, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I have the receipts. I have the email that the person who reported him sent.
And was did he get any kind of response from the judges, like a thank you, we're looking into this? Like,
no reply.
Happened? No reply. Now, did they receive the mail? Obviously, it probably wasn't certified or anything. Was it certified? He has a receipt, though. Was it certified mail they sent?
Oh, no. I mean, he was an email to the judge program. That's the only way that you can report anything.
I got you.
But I have the actual email.
You have the actual email. And this is all available on Unsleeved Media, the quartering, correct? Or which one?
That's right.
Unsleeved Media is available on. Yeah,
it's on Unsleeved Media currently. Hey, by the way, Tommy, did you know I got my strikes removed today on the quartering?
On the court? Oh, congratulations! And that's lead me to my next question. When you first started raising these questions or allegations, or in this case, pointing out the proof, you started getting some YouTube drama, like strikes on the quartering. You have 2 channels. You started getting strikes on the quartering channel. Initially, when you started raising these allegations, like I said, I was like, whoa. When I first said, how are you treated? And how have any Magic the Gathering officials spoken to you? Or
no officials, no. But they did. I mean, they attacked me, right? The Judge Association, in my opinion, mass flagged that video.
Oh, really?
And they actually tried to flag down my crowdfunder to pay for the things. I've been fighting with GoFundMe for a week, and now I've decided today that I'm just going to take it down because screw them. They can pay for it themselves now. Now WotC decided, and they didn't act in their own good faith, so I'm going to take down the crowdfunder today and refund everyone their money, because fuck them. They tried to flag the campaign and say that I wasn't going to give the money to the judges, even though I started off the bidding with $1,000 in my own cash.
So let me get this straight. You started a GoFundMe for what exactly that got flagged down?
The only public reason the Magic Judge Association had for not doing background checks was cost. You can see this as a public reply for them. So I said
that may be legitimate. That could be legitimate if I'm not mistaken. I mean, like, how much? Yeah, it's hard to get baseball referee or baseball umpires. When I was a kid, I can't imagine it'd be too easy to find a niche game like Magic, and get judges for it. I mean, I imagine that would be quite difficult.
Well, no, just the cost of the background checks. That's all they were complaining about. So I went out and I negotiated bulk pricing with a background check company of just $5 to check the National Registry and get certified every year, or up to $15 if they wanted to scan for a full criminal background.
Okay.
So you're talking about a simple solution, in my opinion, where you just say, hey, if you want to be a judge, show up to work on your first day with a clean background check, and you have to provide it once a year. It's not that big of a financial burden.
Sure.
And if it is, I'm going to establish this fund where you can say, hey, can Unsleeved Media just pay for it? I mean, we're all just friends in here, right? So between us, I knew that was bullshit, right? I knew the money thing was bullshit.
Between you and me. Okay. You thought it was, but you were like, fine, let's do it. And this particular GoFundMe, designed to relieve the cost for these tournaments, was flagged down by whom? Or do you don't know?
They never tell you, but the GoFundMe representative told me that it was members of the Judge Association who didn't think that I was going to actually give them the money. That's what she told me.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, and you know it.
Of course, I would give them the money.
I got to be honest with you. That's a red flag if they're not high. Like, it's like I was a little uncomfortable when you said before. There's probably more you haven't scratched the surface. I was uncomfortable with that. But to go that far, to stop the GoFundMe, something that would benefit them, that would relieve them of a certain amount of responsibility, they would flag something like that. I think that's a red flag for their cover and for more.
Oh yeah, to me it absolutely is. I mean, why would you try to stop that? I mean, it's insane. And if you've seen the salt mines are in like full overdrive, I have people tagging me who are local game store owners are like, I'm refusing to carry Magic the Gathering products now because I have to background check my employees. I'm like, it's $15. Who are you hiding? This is not about the money.
So you want the background checks of the stores as well as the tournaments?
Yeah, I want every Magic the Gathering judge to have a clean, minimum sexual history.
No kidding. Well, I mean, it almost sounds unreasonable, but considering that they're being notified and not doing anything about it, I don't know what else you can do.
Well, here's the thing, Tommy, too, and and everyone in chat who doesn't play Magic, like, in order to sell these cards, you have to, one, have a physical location. Two, you have to provide Wizards of the Coast pictures of your play area and all this. So you have to like provide that you're a legitimate store, and then you sign these agreements to have like a safe environment. It would be entirely easy for them to just say, oh, and while you're filling out this paperwork, please submit background checks for your employees. Like, it is an absolute absurdity that anybody would resist this. You have to go, if you're a volunteer anywhere in the United States, most states require it. So these people are just either resisting on principle or they're hiding something. Both
or they're resisting because it's you, which is probably the biggest part.
That's part of it. Some of them for sure.
That's the thing I keep hearing. I had somebody sort of playing devil's advocate with me, with you before, and they don't necessarily believe this, but when criticizing your, they criticize your motivations. Not necessarily the evidence you provide. Like, nobody's denying that the evidence you provide, but it's your character. It's because you have an axe to grind. It's because you were kicked out. It's because you were a troublemaker to begin with, because you wanted to root out sort of SJW language in some of these tournaments and things of that nature. That you're trolling them. That you're a bit of a troll. I just don't know how that. I don't even. That's a red herring. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
have you been given the same argument that, all right, that you may have some extreme, I don't think you do, but I mean, like, let's pretend for a second you have extreme political ideas, right? That for some reason, it doesn't even add up to me. Yeah. It
well, let me give you an example, Tommy, that'll probably make your skin crawl. So, your dad, and there's 3 prominent Magic pundits have this podcast that nobody watches. Yeah. But they're like anointed by Wizards of the Coast. They get flown around. They they're on the in crowd, and they spent 30 minutes or 20 minutes on this podcast just saying how like they're just Jeremy's gaslighting you. He's just doing this, and he has no real proof. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally have the receipts. I mean, I'm not just saying, it's not like a Pizzagate thing. I have the convictions on their mugshots. And then they're just like, they don't like me. So they're actively telling their fans like, no, this is nothing. This is nothing.
It's funny because the Project Veritas thing on Twitter recently came out that they were shadow banning. And we all knew on Twitter, yes, Twitter users, people were getting shadow banned and stuff. But Project Veritas actually caught them. They got them on tape like they normally do. And I couldn't believe how many, well, Project Veritas has done this in the past. And Project Veritas has done that in the past. So they're not a very reliable source. And they're not this, not that. Well, what about the evidence they presented? It's never, they always try to sort of attack your character and maybe even past actions. Like, what about this? What about these people? Are they manipulating the footage to say there's shadow banning when there really isn't? Like, I never hear that. I always hear that O'Keefe is a bad guy. And that sounds a lot like what they're doing to you. It's and they're lying to people that saying that you don't have any evidence whatsoever. I mean,
right.
Like, how does that? How do you deal with that? How do you fight it? You just ignore it and move on, or what?
No, you can't. I have to address it, right? So that's why losing my quartering channel for that period of time really hindered this, because that was a channel where I would do like a lot of more kind of aggressive reaction, point by point reactions, and you have to address it because you're never gonna. So, you know, when you like debate somebody or you're going up against an ideas, you know, my hardcore fans are never going to disagree with me. Their hardcore fans are never going to disagree with them. But if I can at least put out like, look, here's I shared a PDF document with 14 convicted offenders. Like, here, don't believe me? Read it for yourself. And slowly,
well, you were mean to a cosplay girl, so therefore they weren't convicted. I mean, is this the logic we're talking about? I mean,
oh yeah. That's the level. You know, I gotta just, the only way I can look at people the same is just assume that they're like little kids, you know, who don't have any perspective. Because if you're a grown man or woman and you're like, whoa, this guy called a few people cucks. You know, I don't care what he has to say about sex offenders in the you know, in our community, in our midst, and no system really, you know, it wasn't about rooting out everybody. It was like, how many people do I have to root out before you admit there's a problem? And apparently that number is like 12. They finally did it.
The answer is infinite. And these people aren't interested. They're interested in maintaining their power and making sure you're not right. It's more important for you not to be right about anything than it is to protect these children. It is obvious. And
yeah, that's right.
I really wonder how close you are getting picked up by the mainstream media. If they even cover it, because once they found and I don't think it's really outrageous to say something like this. It's very obvious that Magic the Gathering has picked a political affiliation, and I really wonder if the mainstream media outside local news will even give this any kind of coverage whatsoever, even with your evidence, because there's such a bias. You know, I get that. Like, I'm probably going to be on your side no matter what. You know, I'm definitely rooting for you. I thought I was kind of bummed out that they took your tournament away. But I mean, I would imagine if I were you at this stage, I wouldn't even care if I played a tournament again. I mean, you got to be totally. You're pretty much doing, when you're not working, you're doing this stuff, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I don't have that much time anymore. But I'll tell you one thing I'm doing that's kind of fun is that this coming up weekend is the first Grand Prix, the largest event like that I would have gone to and competed in and got all the footage. Well, instead, because I can't compete, I rented out a private room down there. I bought a bunch of product. I bought free beer for everybody, drinks, and I'm going to have a private party in like across the street on Saturday. So they can just, you know, fuck off. And I think that's going to be kind of fun, and I'll be able to relax and play the game, because my problem's not with the game, right? It's with a few idiots at the top.
Patrol. No kidding. Thank you so much, 3D Loki. To be honest, Jeremy went after this cosplayer's White Knights a lot more than I did miss the. I'm sorry, I did miss the actual.
Yeah, I didn't really. I went off her. I went after her from you know, the men in this, young men in this community. I know, I get it. Everyone can spend their money how they want. Fine. That said, there are a lot of vulnerable, lonely young men in this community. It just is a fact. And when you get these women coming in who dress sexy, it's like a form of, I've said before, it's like a form of courtship for these guys to give them their money. And I know they give it to them of their own free will, but also it's my right to kind of say, like, hey, you know, buyer beware. She's not your girlfriend.
Yeah, this is where me and you have a complete difference of opinion. I don't agree with you. I mean, who cares? But the fact that she could say, I can't take it, I'm leaving, and get you kicked off the tournament because, like you said, you had the tournament scene because, you know, you don't like what she does. And I mean, I can have an opinion too. I think you're overreacting. But I got to be honest with you at this point, Jeremy. None of this matters. That's YouTube drama. We have children that are in danger here, and rather than let the pain in the ass, I'm sure they call you alt-right all the time. The pain in the ass Sargon fan be right. They are willing to put children in danger. I don't think that's even a leap at this point. If you have the paperwork you say you have, which I have no reason to doubt you.
Yeah, I mean, you can read it in their language, right?
Yeah.
You read it the way people reacted on Reddit. Like, oh, they said the top post about this whole thing was, this is a common tactic of the alt-right to claim there are pedophiles and they're everywhere and there's a ring. And I'm like, claim? I showed you. I didn't claim anything.
It must be so frustrating. It is a common tactic. Here's another thing. It is a common tactic for the alt-right. But the alt-right usually makes accusations. They don't usually come up with the paperwork.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, and you're not alt-right. It's so obvious that I mean, you're on the if I could put you in a hole, you're kind of like the classical liberal YouTube, or what I would call a YouTube liberal.
And
Gamergate supporter. That's typical. That has nothing to do with the alt-right. And they just and that's another thing. They would have to admit that Gamergate wasn't an alt-right movement. You know, they would have to. That was a mix of libertarians, classical liberals, and conservatives. And yeah, I think it's funny that they're holding on to their politics, and I really think that left-wing politics have become more cult-like. I mean, we saw what the Catholic Church did when they were initially they were very resistant to criticism and actually went as far as started moving people around. I mean, they've rooted a lot of it out, but it took a tremendous movement. But we're talking about
it took really national, huge worldwide coverage.
International, yeah, to get them moving. I guess I can sort of understand that more, at least from just the way human beings are built and the way faith is sort of part of their genetic makeup. And I do believe that some people are more not susceptible. That's the wrong word, but I think
they're more inclined to be faithful.
And I think people are some people are more inclined to be religious than others. I don't think that makes them smarter or stupid. So susceptible is probably not the right word.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I can understand the defense mechanism to protect that. I cannot understand the defense mechanism to protect a tournament, a card game.
I think there's,
unless the card game itself has been indoctrinated by a cult, a sort of cult-like thinking, which is SJW thinking, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the company itself absolutely is, but I'll tell you what, I have, excuse me, several employees inside the building that added me on Skype, like after all this stuff broke, to silently give support. You know, they can't say anything publicly.
Sure, they got to keep their jobs.
But they, you know, I think what finally brought the statement was enough pressure, enough clamoring from everybody out there, but also like somebody finally was like, wait a minute. Wait, you know, okay, yeah. Somebody like got that PDF in their hand and they're like, wait a minute here. This is a lot of pedos. Like, what? There's something here, you know, and then they're finally like, because they rolled out today they're like, they put the pressure on the local game stores to pay for their own background checks. Like, they did not screw around. Really? They did it right.
So you are, and I guess that leads me to the next question. So there has been some developments. Can you tell me some of the actions they take and what you approve of and maybe what you don't approve of? There is action being taken because there was pretty much a month went by and then your channel got shut down, the quartering.
I think if they could have shut my main channel down, this never would have, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like, they tried to silence me. They shut my Twitter down. They got my second main channel down where I was primarily, like, Unsleeved Media. I tried to keep the drama off it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those people just, you know, games, I don't like politics and gaming, so I didn't want to put that on that channel.
Sure.
But when they shut the quartering down, I didn't have a choice.
So you put it on there. I think it's pretty ballsy of you. And then that's a big part. You're not a I mean, you have professional subs as far as the amount of subs where you can do it professionally, but you do work. I mean, you have a regular job besides YouTube, but a significant amount of income comes from YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm on the cusp, right? Like, if I doubled for some strange reason the next year, I could probably do it full time. But yeah, you know, it's not like I mean, it sucked when they shut the quartering down. That was a lot of money to lose, you know.
I'm sure, imagine. And,
they
it's just
so they rolled out an official statement today that said, as a part of our commitment to safe and inclusive spaces, grown, tournament organizers and retailers will be explicitly required to conduct background checks for all staff. This includes Channel Fireball events, Grand Prix, local store events like Friday Night Magic, and professional events like the Pro Tour and World Magic Cup. Like, it's a complete sweeping win.
okay. This is a huge win. That's fantastic. Where do you go from here? Are you done? Do you feel like you won? What's happening now? I mean, you're not going back to tournaments, but
I take a day to enjoy it. It feels weird to feel like I had to win to protect children's buttholes. You know what I mean? Like,
no, absolutely right. Maybe even more than that. I mean, it could have been protecting their lives. I mean, some people don't walk away from that, especially kids. Kids have. I remember reading once. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But kids after sexual assault have a greater chance of being murdered than women or men under the same circumstance, under the same assault circumstances. So I mean, what you may have seen.
It's real.
Life,
yeah, that shit. It's a life sentence, right? You carry, even if you would can grow to cope with it, it's always with you. No, you're ruining these people's lives.
You know, one of the biggest lies we're told. One of the biggest lies we're told as children, I think, is this horrible word that just makes you chase dragons for the rest of your life. Is closure. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's closed. You got closure. You got closure when they close a casket. That's about it. And I think when something like that happens, it's just how you learn to deal with it. And the people that are affected or appear to be affected more, you can tell on how good they dealt with it or how good they didn't deal with it. I don't think there's any such thing. It definitely said. I imagine. I can't imagine.
Well, just look at a lot of the. This is just statistics. You know, look at what people who are abused. You know, they grow up to be abusers. They grow up to have all sorts of gender issues. They have they have all sorts of problems in their life. But you asked what's next? Well, I'm still not unbanned, and they still stole my collection. So I'm not letting that die.
They haven't let you. I figured they would give your online collection back. They have not given your online collection back. Is that correct?
That is correct. Nope, they stole it completely.
I don't know how anybody can get. I mean, I was talking to you offline, and I meant that. I wanted you to teach me how to play. You know, because I mean, I'm not. It's not something that I always thought video games were enough for me. You know, I didn't want to get too nerdy. But I know like some of the poker players I admire actually came from Magic the Gathering, and I wanted to play with you, but I can't like with all this going on. I really can't. I couldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't want my kids playing at this point. And I wouldn't care what they do on an oral circuit. I just don't want to give these people my money. It's just, it feels slimy. And I'm sure it's a wonderful game. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. You know, it's.
But why did we have to beg them to check people? You know what I mean? Like, you're more worried about pushing a political ideology than
yes, because this is more than a political ideology. I think the SJWs have crossed a cult. I mean, I see it even in the mainstream media. This constant yammering about Russia. I mean, it's the ultimate boogeyman. I mean, I see it all the time. Where somebody brings up a point and well, he said this once in the past, therefore it disregards what he said now. I mean, they've gone as far to say that you're lying, and you're providing the evidence of the registry.
Well, that's why I had to be, double and triple sure. I mean,
sure,
that's
you're
why
putting your ass in the line. You're wrong about one of those guys. Kiss your ass goodbye. I mean, you can kiss your channels goodbye, everything.
That's right. Yeah, and so I knew I was taking a huge risk to be exposing these people. But
I'm taking it.
It's no videos got flagged down, at least on the main channel. I mean, because I was right about all of it. So it's like I couldn't release anything until I made it double and triple sure. Because, like you said, even if 99 things I said were true, if I screwed up on one, they would use it to just.
And nobody would have had it. It wouldn't have mattered how righteous your cause was. Nobody would have cared. You ruined one guy's life. I mean, that's your ass. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. And I guess I have an apology to make with you. I didn't. I didn't speak to anybody, my wife. I didn't have a lot of faith. I thought you were just pissed because this game means so much to you. And I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad, I think what you're doing is putting your channel up there. I think by taking this risk and potentially if you made a mistake, even if you got, you know, 9 out of 10. If you miss 10, that's your ass. Could be your future. Definitely some damage coming. You know, I think that's rather heroic, and I don't say that. I mean that. I mean that, and I say that as somebody who actually stood next to real heroes. You know, guys in the special forces, generals, things of that nature, real badasses. I think that's very heroic because you don't see that very often. So, do we have any idea? I'd like to take some calls. Is it all right if we took some calls? Take some calls?
Yeah, I don't care.
I do want to ask you, do you have a plan to try to get back on Magic the Gathering? Or because I'm going to tell you something right now, I do not think you're ever going to be back. It doesn't matter. If that girl that you made fun of jumps off the Golden Gate Bridge and you grow wings and save her, they're not going to let you back.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll ever be allowed back in. That doesn't mean I can't try, right? And
no.
You know,
How are you dealing with that? How are you dealing with that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, everything that's going on for the last 2 weeks is really, I forgot long ago about trying to get my collection back or to fight the ban, because this obviously was just a way bigger deal. So you know, I right now want to take the weekend to relax. I also want to reward everyone, like on the Unsleeved Media channel, with some just pure gaming content for a couple of weeks. Let them just chill. I can fight this. I can pick up this fight again in a few weeks. It's not as important as the one that we just finished today.
It's incredible. And let me tell my audience here. He got it done. It happened. He won it, and this wasn't just as simple as lifting a strike or getting a channel back. You know, your kids are a little safer now than they were before, and that's a big deal. And like I said, I don't use that hero world lightly, but I think what you've done is heroic, and I generally mean that. I forgot to put your I'm such a bad fucking YouTuber. I forgot to put your YouTube channel in the chat.
Oh, don't worry. They'll find it. If they search for Unsleeved Media or the corner,
yeah. You know what I mean. But you know what? If you don't like say a shout out and say go here, it doesn't work as well. It doesn't work. I really should have a picture up there of Unsleeved Media, to be perfectly honest. That, for some reason, it's the psychology of the whole thing. It doesn't work as well. All right, I'm going to put some people in the chat. Will Herring, you are on the air with Jeremy of Unsleeved Media.
Hey, Tommy, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Jeremy, I believe you spoke a little bit. My name is Will Herring. I'm with ABC7 here in El Paso, Texas. So we're definitely interested in your story and what you have going on. I have a few questions. I'm probably going to circle back a little bit. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool, great. So kind of going back to the beginning, and a big part of this story is, do you know exactly who suppressed the information that you put out to Magic the Gathering or Wizards of the Coast? Do you know the exact people that received the information and did nothing with it?
No, because the report, actually I do have a name who registered that reporting account that I can share with you, like in DMs. I don't want to say it now, you know.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Where you report is just like this general inbox, I believe. So somebody's responsible for checking that, but I don't know who.
Okay. I've been speaking with some of the Magic the Gathering people in my town of El Paso, and one of the things that concerned all of them is the effect of what your investigation and the information that you've brought out is going to have on these gatherings, on the local levels.
Fuck
and things
them.
like that.
Fuck them. The kids are more important. I'm not yelling at you, Will, directly, but if any of them are listening, fuck you. Who cares what effect it has? The only effect that's important is the one that the kids are safe. That's the one that's important. Oh my God! People might not come to Magic the Gathering. They should have thought of that when Jeremy was raising these issues in the fucking first place. Excuse me. Go ahead with your question. I'm sorry, that pisses me off, and it has nothing to do with you, Will. You're a great guy, but that pisses me off to no end.
We talked about this. I play both sides. I have to.
Yeah, I know you
do. Just
a
window to the story.
I don't think it'll have. I mean, the net effect really is a bit of butthurt. I've already seen a lot of local game stores, as people know. Like, I have people everywhere, right? So people send me screenshots all day. People are complaining about it, but we're talking about a $10 or a $15 background check for employees. That's kind of the net effect of it. So once everything boils down, I'm not sure, unless you had a specific concern, I just don't see one, right? We're talking about, for most local game stores, they have 2 employees. You know, you're talking about $30 even less if it's just a sex offender scan. So I just don't. I'm not sure what the concern would even be.
Okay, I understand that. How do you believe these officials protected the offenders that they knew about?
Well, we know that from testimony and email evidence that we know this man is willing to like basically testify. The guy that outed him, LaPlante is his last name, and so he told a judge specifically about it. The judge on the scene, he told the tournament organizer, who admitted in a screenshotted conversation that he told the people at Wizards, and we have the email that Travis sent to the Judge Association about it. So we have 3 logical points back here in June or July when it was, where it was reported and nothing was done. And we see in there, they released a statement today that said it was they admit fault, but they say it was just a clerical error why he wasn't eliminated from the program, but that's baloney.
Okay. How often are these judges left with minors alone? There's always usually other people around, right? In a large tournament area, there's always people around, but that doesn't mean you couldn't shuffle someone off to the side or get to know somebody, groom them. In the local game store, I was raised in the local game store. I used to ride my bike there on Saturday mornings. I'd spend the whole day there. So it's more common at the local game store level where some kids might be alone with the owner all day. And, the parents have some culpability there too. But it's more common in the local level, I think, than in the tournament scene. Okay, and I think this next question is kind of important. How often do these judges that you have evidence on and you have their register on, do you think we're left alone with minors or children?
Well, I mean, no more, no less than anyone else, right? I mean, every opportunity when they would judge.
Is there any way you can even tell that? I mean, that's such a subjective answer. I mean, who could answer that? I mean, objectively, that's a really.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Okay.
More than some, less than all the time, but more than some of the time.
More than I'd like it.
I totally agree. I'm with you guys on protecting these children.
Oh, no, I know you are, Will.
That comes first.
By the way, I just want to shout out to everybody. Will's doing his job. All right. Will's doing his job.
I'm not even reading the chat. I'm just trying to.
I know that I know you have to ask these questions, but the fact that these questions are even being asked under these circumstances, with the evidence that was shown, with the fact that there are convicted, registered offenders in this situation, and there seems to be stronger evidence, just as strong evidence that nothing was done. It just, the fact that it just says, I mean, it's almost like they're trying to divert from the irresponsibility that happened. It just because, all right, and I got to be honest with you, I've talked to Jeremy offline twice now. I like him, right? Like, everybody says Jeremy's an asshole. I don't see it. He's soft-spoken. I mean, yeah, he's a dork on Twitter, but who isn't? I just don't get this, that they've managed to demonize him so much for doing what I do every day, and I'm probably 10 times worse. And it's just, I don't know. It's very, very frustrating for me, Will. And I'm not yelling at you, and you're a really great guy. But I have to yell once an episode because we got to cash in. What can I tell you, buddy?
Hey, Jeremy, man, thank you very much for the questions. I just have a few more.
All right, hit him, Will.
Okay, cool. And this is another big one. This is something that I ran into some of the editors and the news people that I broached your story to. Are you worried at all about what Hasbro would do to Wizard of the Coast civilly, possibly in like a lawsuit?
I'm not worried one bit, no.
Why would he be?
Really?
Why would he be?
Do they want to be the company that sues somebody for outing pedophiles? Go ahead.
Great answer. That was a great answer.
Okay. My final question. Why do you think the big media hasn't picked it up? I mean, I am just a local affiliate with ABC, but, we have ABC National, there's Fox News National, there's 60 Minutes, things like that. Why haven't they jumped on this?
I don't know. I mean, I think that...
I do. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's a weird topic to talk about, but, also, like, I can say a lot of conservative outlets have picked it up, no problem. So, I mean, that's about all I can say. I can't speak to their intention.
Do the math. That's how sick the left has got. That's what I think. That's how sick this has got. They're willing to protect. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe Jeremy's right, but you know, he did post a Peppy the Frog meme. You know, I mean, you know, that makes him a bad person. You know.
Yeah, but that's what we run into, guys. Thank you very much for letting me come. Question.
Well, thank
Jeremy,
you.
is there anything you'd like to say?
Me?
No, Jeremy. Is there anything that maybe you want to tell us that would help you in what you're doing? I always give you guys an opportunity to say anything you need to say or want to say.
No, I think the ultimate takeaway here is I have to commend Wizards of the Coast, regardless if it took them kicking and screaming, for acting correctly and putting the proper checks in place. I think that's what people should remember about this, is that eventually the right thing was done, and that's kind of all that matters.
Okay.
Cool. I'm talking to you guys soon. Thank you.
Will, you're a great guy. Great questions, man. I hope you don't think I'm an asshole. Well, I am, but I just told you.
I do, man.
All
you know I love you, though. Great job.
Take it, Will. Oh man, I don't get it. I don't get it, Jeremy. I just like, I don't get why it matters. I mean, I sort of get why people find you irritating. I don't personally find you irritating because I'm probably just as irritating as you. But
there's the, you know, there's me, and then there's like turning it up to 11 for a video, right? I mean, it's just people can't separate it.
I've watched your videos. I don't want to ruin your reputation, but I don't find, maybe because the commentary community, which is I'm more close, they're a lot meaner than you. You know?
Yeah, I'm pretty tame. I know V always gives me shit for being too nice, but like, you know, yeah, I'm very good at pushing specific people's buttons, and I guess maybe that's why I've turned into such a villain in this community. Most people outside of it think I'm pretty tame.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't find you. I find you. You strike me a guy that, you know, you have a working class job and you play Magic the Gathering. That's or maybe like a tech guy. You work you're monitoring servers during the day or some shit like that, and you know you're a gaming nerd. You know, and you're one of those guys that took it into adulthood. I mean, I knew a million guys. I mean, it's funny you're riding the bike. I used to hang out, and even in my early 20s, we'd hang out, grab some sodas, and on a Wednesday, that's when the comic books came out, and you know, I'd always pick Deadpool, and we'd end up talking for not even about comics, about everything, about girls, about sports, about anything else. I mean, I imagine that was much the same for you. I mean,
that's why it was so close to home for me, right?
Yeah, that was close to home for you. Excuse me, what'd you say?
No, that's why this is so close to home for me, because that's exactly how it was when I was young, right? Like the new stuff came out, or like the new comics or the new Scry magazine would come out, and you'd get your ass to that game shop or the comic book shop at 10 in the morning on a Saturday, and you didn't leave until they kicked you out, and you might have only had $10 in your pocket. So they were basically, you know, you're getting raised by the comic store, you know?
Yeah, in some ways. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like. All right, let's. Kowalski, don't be a douche, man. This is kind of a serious one. I'll be douchey Sunday. Okay, I promise. What do you got?
I was just going to say, Jeremy, thank you very much for bringing these things to light. The proof of paedophilia and, of course, sexual offences. I'm not personally part of the Magic community, but this is important for every community to know that, well, this is happening.
No, it is. It could have an effect.
Shoot, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Also, I love your beard.
Thank you.
I knew you were going to say something goofy. He does have he has a magical beard. I was telling him that before the show, trying to creep him out.
We should gather around his magical beard.
Get the fuck out of here, Kowalski. That's the way my show usually is, I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to be like normal person, you know? All right, let's listen to, I don't know. Mac Daddy, you're on the air. Don't fuck it up.
All right, Jeremy, I wanted to actually thank you for revealing everything. I've been following this story ever since Tommy brought you on the first time. I've been signing all your change.org petitions and trying to share them out so you can get as many signatures as you want, as you need. I just want to say thank you, man. And it's been, I want to congratulate you on finally getting your, it's kind of a hollow victory. It should have been in there in the first place, but it's a victory at least.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. That is how it feels. It's a little hollow, but it's still good. It's good to win one once in a while.
Yeah.
I tell you,
Do you run any? Do you run a Discord server yourself for Magic or anything like that?
Not really. There's one in the link in the description of my videos where there are people in there for Magic. Yeah, so you can always check in the description of my videos.
Okay, I just wanted to thank you. I'm glad that you finally got your attention back, and I also do believe that even though you're never going to get unbanned, that they should unban, like on a moral sense, that they should unban you for you exposing all of this.
They should unban you. They should have banned him to begin with. They banned him for something. He attacked somebody.
I know they banned him for something stupid and gay and should never happened in the first place. No. But on principle, on a moral standpoint, for what he's done for the community, they should unban him.
Yeah, it should be. If you want to look at it that, yeah, whatever, get him back. If they want to like a null and void the other one. But then again, here's the problem with that. If he takes that deal, that means he can't speak out again. You know, and then he has to keep his opinion to himself. It's ridiculous.
That'll never happen.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Thank you, Mac Daddy. I appreciate it. Can I ask you this, though? And like I said, I don't think it matters anymore. Do you think after you got your banning that that you got a little crazy? That maybe you, I mean, who cares? Look where it led. But do you think that that you did have an axe to grind, that you weren't thinking clearly, and it just kind of stepped onto it? What was your rationale when you finally got the news?
Oh no, I was thinking very clearly. Did I have an axe to grind? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I knew for a week that they were going to ban me, so I had time to plan very carefully. Now this pedo thing was not part of my plan.
Okay, I'm sure.
But you know, that's one common thing. Like people that really hate me, they're like, "Oh, you knew about this? You said nothing." No, I didn't know about this. That's like what a terrible thing to say about somebody.
It also doesn't make much sense. I mean, this isn't a proof that that's true. But if you were hitting them over the head with the anti-SJW stuff, I mean, what would have stopped you from, if you're saying all these things and being such a shit stir? What would have stopped you from? All right, you're pointing out all these inconsistencies, these ridiculous rules. You're making fun of the cosplays girls. You're breaking all their PC norms, so to speak. Why wouldn't you bring it up? You were already pissing them off to the point of insanity. Well, this would have been one more thing that you could have used. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, no, I was already blacklisted long before I was ever actually banned. I had nothing to lose for years now, so it's just absurd that I would ever. I mean, when I got the first email, I verified it and exposed it within like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh, well, there you go. I've been too fast for me. I called a lawyer. But let's see. What else we got here? I don't know. I don't know if I should put the idiots on. Yeah, show's getting a little dry. So, Stone Mexican guy, go ahead. What do you got? Turn my stream down, you fuckhead.
Yeah, no, I think I was already blacklisted.
Hey, Stone, you blew it.
I had nothing to lose.
All right, big shit.
You blew it.
You blew it. You blew it. That's the way we roll around here. Hey, Dead Duck. Hey, you Dead Duck. You on here?
Hold on. Let me turn off the
Yeah, knock that out.
How are you guys doing?
Great. We're doing wonderful. What's on your mind, sir? We got Unsleeved Media, Mr. Jeremy here.
To get what I was going to say out the way first, you know what, Jeremy, just start your own, pull a LeVar Ball and just start your own league. Is that
your own thing? Is that a possibility to kind of start another league? I mean, with the same one?
It's something I've considered with this. So I'm starting this convention, this like my own tournament this week. Next week in Indianapolis will be the first week of it, and I'm going to travel around for like maybe 3 or 4. It depends, it costs money to do these things, but
absolutely.
I'm going to host some tournaments, and maybe it gets really big, and maybe it does turn into something. Right now, I'm happy just hanging out with people playing Magic and kind of sticking it to them.
Gotcha.
Just put no pedophiles, you'll grow way bigger.
Yeah. Guaranteed pedo-free zone.
You can go to the pedo Magic, and you can go to the non-pedo Magic.
Mine has an alcohol.
I was having such a nice few days without any Keemstar Kavos drama, just going about my day, listening to your stream, going down my timeline.
Yes.
Big fucking English buck teeth just screaming on a video.
Sorry, did I hurt your feelings?
My God, I'm just happy like the volume was down so I didn't have to hear the lisp.
Well, you're a bad person. Get out of here. He's referring to my trauma. Meta, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, I'm not too familiar with the whole Magic Gate thing, but I talked to my friend about this, and he talked about how basically what they should do, or what if he was a if I'm sorry, I'm a little stuttery, so basically, right? I'm sorry, I'm very dumb.
Take your time, man. It's okay.
Yeah, you've called before. What the fuck's the matter with you? You smoking pot again?
I'm trying to find the thing that he put here. He typed it. Yeah, so right here, he says how if he ran the company, he would basically unban you so you could shut the fuck up.
But that's not going to happen.
That would be a great move.
That's the worst thing they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would have been great to ban me if I was a smaller channel, but now, yeah, I wouldn't think that would be a bad. I mean, that probably might be a good idea.
I mean, like, this shit's coming out. They're being fucked in the ass.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to avoid. You know?
Nah.
Get out of here, Meta. Talk to you later. Meta. Your fucking call was Meta. All right,
I saw someone in chat talking shit that I wasn't taking calls earlier. Where'd that person go? Get in here, you chump.
First of all, I take the fucking calls. All right, I'm in charge of this ship. So get the fuck. Oh, that happens all the time. I had somebody tell me that I blow up because I have this fucking. I don't know if you've ever seen it. This stupid gimmick. It's an explosion. I blow people up. I just blow people up. Usually, like Meta, I can't get to the point. I was told that I do that during arguments and stuff, which never fucking happens. Nobody comes up and argues with me. Nobody. I'm not saying that's because I'm such a fucking. I'm so good. It's that nobody shows up. They're usually gutless. Like you running riot. You fucking SJW. Actually, we've been getting along lately. Oh yeah, he's all right now. He actually stuck up for me recently. I'm okay with that now. He's still a douche. The Ghostly Boogie. Actually, this guy's making good calls lately. Jeff, the dank man. You're on the air.
Hello, guys.
What's up,
I just want to say, like, mad respect to you, dude. Like, what you've done. It's like, it's so many like bad YouTubers out there that just do scummy shit, and like, you're doing this is real respect to you, man.
Well, I'm on the job to find the bad person, so don't you worry about it.
Thanks a lot, man. I'm gonna go ahead and assume you're talking to me, not Tommy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking to fucking Tommy.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm very selfish. I don't think about myself, my own money.
No, you're great, Tommy.
Yeah. Shut up.
I'm waiting for that Cavos video on you. That's gonna be great.
He's not gonna make one. He isn't the ball. Number two, he doesn't. Number one, he doesn't have the balls. And second of all, he can always hide behind my size. And you're irrelevant. Patrol. I'm successful and sophisticated. I make videos about Logan Paul throwing a body, and I throw the body. Talk to you later.
Yeah, man.
Bye-bye. Sucks for you. What else? Oh, this guy's... Well, he's gay, and he might get thrown off a roof one day because he lives in the Middle East. But he's a good guy. His name is Topes. He's on the air.
Oh, hi, Tommy. How are you?
You're on with Jeremy, dipshit. Go.
Hi, Jeremy. Okay, so I have a question that's a bit unrelated to the topic, but it's directed to Jeremy.
Okay.
All right. What do you think of the liberalist movement that Sargon's proposing?
It's I don't have I mean, I'm not a huge labels guy, to be honest with you. But I get what he's trying to say. I haven't really dug into it too much, to be honest with you. Like, I get what he's trying to say is that a group of individuals can still have the same common cause. It's not necessarily collectivist, but I also see, what other people are saying on the other side too. So it's dicey. What do you think about it, man?
Oh, myself? I think,
I don't even know what it is. People have been sending me videos all day. I haven't had time because I was ice skating. But what is the liberalist movement?
Oh, the liberalist movement. It basically is, it's an advocacy group for liberalism, and not just saying you're a liberal does not mean you're an activist for liberalism. So they've basically Sargon took the term liberalist as an activism for classical liberalism.
Why not liberalista? That sounds cooler. You know?
What do you mean liberalista?
Yes, I don't I don't know, like I don't know, liberally. Let's come up with some. You know what? The name sucks. That's why I won't join it.
The name does suck.
Yeah, the name kind of sucks.
That was a major part of the debate.
And you know, the name sucks. And Sargon has a great command of the language, and he's very intelligent, but he's obviously not very creative. So I couldn't go join that movement. Fuck him.
You should have talked to a marketing guy he knows. You know.
No,
well, there isn't really.
Well, what are they doing? Like, what's the big? He didn't make any sense. What are these jerks doing? You're fucking starting a secret knock club? Fuck it. That sounds lame.
No, they're trying to organize against SJWs and the alt-right. Because if they become discombobulated and they don't have a fixed set of principles, then they can't fight against these people.
And that's the main takeaway, right? That is important because what we know about the alt-right and what we know about SJWs is they're very well organized, and that's how they often win arguments.
Yeah, by talking about one that nobody ever made.
That is true. And the movement itself would really help the alt-right sort of examine their own principles, which they're not doing at this point.
You know what movement would be good for you if you moved your ass out of that hellhole country you're from, or a shithole, and moved your ass to Europe. Go along with the other. I mean, look, there's so many people coming here to Germany that fucking never gonna get a job. You could probably, I don't know, work at the local donor shop or something. Why don't you just get out of there and fucking?
Hey, Wisconsin's great. You know, Wisconsin's a great place.
You want to live it well? Like a gay Arab in Wisconsin. I'm sure it's gonna go over like gangbusters.
Hey, gay marriage is legal here. We love the gays.
You love the gays? All right.
We're huge fans of the gays.
But he looks like a terrorist, though. He looks like a terrorist. Like he gets checked twice in the plane. You know what I mean?
How patchy is your beard?
It's not patchy. It isn't patchy. It's like a scruff.
It's actually kind of gay. Yeah, he's right. I take that back. All right, man. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later, Topes, man.
All right. See you guys.
Take care. Topes, everybody. Always a funny call. Mr. Topes. That's our gag with him. If you get let's see, an actual Magic player. All right, fine. We'll try that. An actual Magic player. You're on with Jeremy. I think this might be the last call. I think we've done an hour already. An actual Magic. Do you actually have a mic? Actual Magic player?
No.
What's the matter with you? You didn't put me on. You didn't put me on. You didn't put me on, Jeremy. You're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid phone calls and debate. You don't have any pet files. You have nothing. An actual Magic player. That's so pretentious, is that? All right, maybe we'll take Old School Matt because he's a good guy. Leader's been getting on a lot lately. Last call of the day, Old School Matt. Old School Matt.
Hey, Tommy.
Okay. Because you didn't call it. I was gonna whatever godforsaken state you live in. I was gonna go there and beat your ass. But go ahead.
First off, I gotta say, I gotta thank you for bringing this to light the way you did. Because, granted, I work in a profession Tommy doesn't really like that much.
What is it?
I'm a substitute teacher. Remember?
You're in the worst Well, you're a substitute, which makes you better than the rest of them. But go ahead.
But I do want to thank you for bringing this to light the way you have. Because, look. Normally, I don't see Magic the Gathering as a problem besides a distraction in the classroom. Now, I suddenly kind of worry about who these kids are playing with.
No, it's reasonable. It's a reasonable subject. But, I mean...
You know, some thanks also should go to Tommy, too, for helping signal boost this whole thing. And a lot of people helped me. You know, I was just one voice, but, you know, Tommy helped spread things around on Twitter. He had me on the show twice now. And so I appreciate that, too. And I appreciate everyone out there watching and hanging out and spreading the word.
I don't know how much I could. I mean, you were on with much bigger guys than me. I mean, I'm sure I helped a little, but, I mean, come on, man.
Every little bit helps. I'm telling you, like, it's just when one person hears it and, you know, they tell someone, it matters.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you appreciate it, but I got to be honest with you. I can't take the credit. I think you're doing the work. I mean, it was very easy to get in touch with you. I mean, we were talking about doing something a little early a couple weeks ago, and you're like, yes, let's go. I mean, you're never, I'll get back to you or anything. You're really on, you're really quick. I just want to let everybody know that anytime that I DM Jeremy, he does not act like a 200K YouTuber in general. He gets back to you quick because this is about more than even gaming at this point. So I can't take any credit for it, to be honest with you. I'm glad you appreciate the little help that I could give, but that's about it. Anything else, Matt?
Tommy. I think you give yourself a little too little credit on this one because you reach out to an audience that normally wouldn't hear about this kind of stuff.
I like cursing and yelling at people and making fun of Godloaf. That's all I am, because he's a big bully, and I like to bully bullies, as we all know. Other than that, that's what I want to do. But this stuff really interests me, and I think I also get the feeling I share, whether he knows it or not, I share a kinship with Jeremy a little bit. I think we both changed a lot after Gamergate and saw the way that I think that changed the way we looked at the world. It actually taught me how to debate a lot better. I think so. I see somebody that maybe shares some of my politics and the way I see the world, even though I'm not a Magic the Gathering player. I don't think I even fit that mold. But so I see a kinship there, and it's like, yeah, this is somebody I could work with. And the best part is he can talk, and that's the hardest fucking part. And me and Warski were talking about that. Like, it's really nice. Warski says to me, it's really nice to have a guest that could talk. And I was like, isn't that amazing? All these YouTubers screaming like assholes at the camera, and nobody can talk live. It's unbelievable. and everybody said that my last interview with Jeremy was my best, and I got to be honest with you, I go, it was easy. He could talk, He can talk, Gary. But yeah, it's a give and take situation. But thanks, old school Matt. But we gotta go. Thanks. Stop sucking our dick. Stop sucking us off. Jesus Christ, what's the matter with you? I'll talk to you. Are you? Do you have rank? Oh yeah, you're a known fuckhead. All right, you've been around for like 5 years, for Christ's sakes. Talk to you later, Matt. Old school Matt, everybody. From the old school. I think we've done it. What do you think, brother?
Well, I think I'd like to see some more super chats coming in there. I'd like to see,
Oh, I don't do. Nah, that's all right. They paid. You have no idea what they gave me this week. So they've been.
I don't.
They've been really good to me. I can't. But I appreciate you trying. But I do. I appreciate you trying. But these guys, I have one of the most loyal, hardcore, and donating fans on the entire internet. There's how many guys at 30K they can do this full time? Not many.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, props to your fans, man.
Fans are the
props
best.
to your work, man. You're really growing and refining your game. So
no, I'm not. I'm not growing at all. I got the same fucking people that won't go away. They're kind of like me. No, I'm not, but I do appreciate that, man. And I'm glad I can kind of use this platform to. I don't think it's usually used as a dirty word. Push an agenda, because I definitely get pedos out of a Magic agenda. I have an axe to grind too. I really want to grind my axe on pedos. So, and this is the first show I kind of did like this. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks so much, everybody in chat. Thank you, all the callers, wonderful callers. Big shout out to Will Heron for asking some great questions. Sorry I didn't get to all the donations. Thank you very much, Fuckheads. You've been very, very good to me. I hope you like this extra special, because you guys know I don't do Fridays. Shot from the point. Look for me on Twitch around Sunday. And let me tell you something. That shit you saw on Twitter, I'm just getting started.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree. Chi-Town to King's home, slapping fives, black stones. 6 mile to danger zones, bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated to evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle.
I put pedos in a headlock.
I'm about to make